Oh, I just realized my mic was muted. Sorry about that. Looks like the video is frozen. I've been talking this whole time. You haven't heard me because my mic was um, not working. Yeah, it looks like we're frozen here. And goes to lay down a bunt, fouls it off. So now it's 2-2 is the count. Two and two is the count. Runner on second with nobody out here for Mayer. Or Meyer is up to bat. Sobrowski is out on second. He got on with a hit. I apologize. I realize that the camera is frozen. I'm going to do what I can here. I'm checking with my people. Count is full on Meyer. And he fouls that one straight back. So full count here. All right, got him with a K. Next up for Spooner, Shamari Faye. All right, one out. One out. Runner on second. The count is 1-0 here. One ball on the batter. 2-0 on the batter here. Nice one in there for a strike. It's 2-1. All right, counts 3-1 here on Fahey with a runner at second. And that's ball 4. Coming up next, Cameron Rich. That one's popped up into play. And Drake makes the catch. Fly out to the 9 spot for out number 2. Now up number 30, Ben Eichten. All right, now it looks like we're back. That's a hit in there in a right center field. 1 scores, now 2 scores, and that's a double for Eichten. So that's 2. Now up number 11, Joey Romportal. All right, looks like our video's back up. It is now 2-0 in the top of the first. Spooners had 2 hits, a walk, and it is 2 outs with a runner still in second. A strike for Devin Richardson. Strike for Richardson. It's 0-1. And that one's fouled off, so it's quickly 0-2. So that's great. 0-2 here on Romportal, and again, there's a runner. We got Eichten out at second. 2 outs here for the Saints. That one's high. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs here in the top of the first. That one's outside. 2-2 is the count. Devin wheels back, and that one is popped up and playable, and out is made for Ridgway for out number 3 of the inning. All right, after a half here, I got to adjust the scoreboard. I got to move down. Spooner scored 2 in the top of the first. All right, coming up to bat for the Saints, we got Carter Ridgway leading off. Second is Brett Sladkey. Third is Alex Hoff. And in cleanup is Brody Allram. And pitching for the Rails is Keb Schlopper. It's a fun last name. And again, Spooner comes into this game 1-3, and the Saints come into this game 4-0. And the Saints has had a few games where they've gone down in the first inning. It seems like it takes them an inning or two to settle in, and then they just ride. They've had that in the last game on Tuesday and the game against Northwestern. The game against Northwestern is one of the craziest high school baseball games I've ever witnessed. The Saints got down 8-0 in the first inning, and they came back and won that game 19-8 in 5 innings. Crazy offensive numbers, 3 home runs that night. Now up for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. All right, Ridgway's up. First one is swung at and knocked down, but that's a single for Ridgway. Now up, number 10, Brett Sladkey. All right, so a single for Carter. They check him over at 1. That one's in play. Ooh, and it gets by the shortstop, so everybody's moving around. Now up for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. Alex Hoff is up, and we got runners at first and second. All right, runners on first and second. Nobody out here. That one's up and out on Hoffer. Alex Hoff has had, if I'm correct, 3 home runs this season. I believe he hit 2 in Monday night's game and 1 the week before against Northwestern. Big swing at that one, followed it right back. So the count is 1-1 on Alex Hoff. Saints have really been hitting the ball well, putting up a lot of points. Every game they've won by 10 runs or more. They've had, again, big offensive numbers. Fun to watch. They're a very aggressive offensive team. They're not looking to walk. They're looking to hit. That one's low and outside. So 2-1 on Hoffer with Ridgway at second and Sladkey at first. All Rams on deck. Counts 2-1 on Hoff. That one's low. So the count is 3-1. Our softball girls are at Spooner, playing Spooner, and obviously baseball's here, playing Spooner. And Hoff gets walked. Now up for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. All right, Allram is up with the bases loaded. Let's see what he can do. It's RBI time here for the Saints. A base hit should score 2 and tie up this ballgame. Rails got 2 in the top of the first. Now we're in the bottom of the first. Looking for the Saints to score here. Nobody out. Runners. Ooh, and he gets hit by the pitch. They're taking a minute to go out and talk with their pitcher. Coach Campbell is talking with Kyle over there. Drake's joining him. Now up for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. Kyle Olson is up here. That one's popped up. And infield fly rule, so 1 out. Now up for the Saints, number 23, Drake Peterson. Fly out. So 1 out for the Saints. Bases are loaded. We do have one scored on the hit by pitch by Brody Allram. That one swung on by Drake Peterson. So the count's 0-1, bases loaded, 1 out here for Drake Peterson at the plate. That one's low and out, so counts 1-1. We got Sladkey at third, Hoff at second, and Allram at first. Not using a courtesy runner right now for Allram. That one's popped up and out of play. Forgot to update the score. It is 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. It is a gorgeous day out. It's a bit windy, but the wind is blowing directly in from left field. You can see the flag out there, but it is blowing in directly from left field. That one's inside for ball 2, so it's counts 2-2 now on Peterson. That one's low and outside. All right, full count here. So everybody's moving. No, sorry, we got 1 out here. Not everybody's moving, but we got 1 out, full count, bases loaded. And that's in the 5-6 hole. Sladkey's coming in to score, and they're holding up Hoff, which was a good call because the left fielder got it quite quickly. Now up for the Saints, number 5, Elliott Wilson. Oh, excuse me. So that scored another one. Let's change the score. We're 2-2 now. Again, like I said, first one's in there for a strike on Wilson. We got so count is 0-2 on Wilson. 1 out, bases are still loaded. And he fouls that one off. He's fighting it off. Good fight here. Still 0-2. 1 out, bases loaded here for Elliott Wilson. And he fouls that one off as well. Hits that one on the third baseman, and that's just booted behind him. Another one scores. So an RBI for Wilson. Now up for the Saints, number 9, Devin Richardson. All right, we got 1 out. Bases are loaded, and Richardson is up. In there for a strike, so 0-1 is the count. Low and out. Got to change the score again. It's 3-2. In there for a strike again. We're at 1-2 is the count. So counts 1 and 2, bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Excuse me. That one's low. Count evens at 2 and 2. And in there for strike 3, looking. Now up for the Saints, number 1, Carson Marks. All right. We've got 2 outs now, bases loaded. Swings at the first one. Kind of lunges at that one. Be really nice to get another run or 2 in here with the bases loaded. We got a lot of base runners out there. And that one's in there, so it's quickly 0-2. Carson is our 9 hitter. He puts it in play, keeps it going. It will turn it over to the top of the lineup. And that is strike 3. And they will start at the top of their lineup in all right, we're moving on to the second inning. I got to change the innings too. Goodness gracious. Well, my kids aren't here tonight, so I have less distraction. But it is now the second inning, not 0 innings, but it's second inning. Saints lead 3-2 here in the top of the second. Again, beautiful night. A bit windy, but it is beautiful. Couldn't ask for much better of a night on a baseball night to have. And due up for Spooner, we got 7, 8, 9 coming up. Luke Norritz, Logan Smith, and Reed Hagen are coming up for the Rails here in the second inning. Now up for the Rails, number 15, Luke Norritz. All right. Top of the second inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Richardson's back on the hill for the Saints, and Norritz is up to bat for the Rails. And that is off the glove and ball 1. That was a bit inside. That's fouled out of play. So the count's 1-1 here. Outfield's relatively in. Not playing super deep here. Another strike for Richardson on the swing. So the count is 1-2 on Norritz. Just missed a bit up. So the count is now 2-2. The Saints are in action again tomorrow night down in River Falls, pending the weather, but hopefully they can get that aim in. Ooh, just missed. Full count here. And strike 3. Got him looking for out number 1. Now up for the rails, number 23, Logan Smith. So Logan Smith is up here for the rails. 1 out, nobody on. Strikeout for Richardson to start the top of the second. That was high and in. Ball 1. Low and in. Big swing for strike 2. Count is 2-2 now. Oh, sorry. Now the count's 2-2. I thought it was 2-2 already. Apologies. And got him with another K. Now up number 2, Reed Hagen. All right, 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the second. That one swung on over to Kyle Olson at first. He fields it up and makes the play. 3 up, 3 down for the Saints in that inning. Pretty exciting. And they have the top of their lineup coming up here in the bottom of the second inning. So we got Ridgway, Sladkey, and Hoff coming up again in the second because we batted through the lineup in the first inning. Yes, it's a beautiful night and it's going well here. Now up for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. Ridgway is up in his first at bat. He singled right kind of in the 5-6 hole. Let's see what he can do here in the second inning. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off down the third baseline. Spooner's coach makes the play. Counts 0-1 after that foul ball on Ridgway. That one's low and out. Evens the count up at 1-1. Counts 1-1. Nobody on, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Big swing for Ridgway. And so now it's 1-2. 1 and 2. Many of our athletes are 3-sport or multi-sport athletes here at St. Croix Falls. Reggie plays football, wrestles, and also plays baseball. And he takes that one for ball 2. So the count is 2 and 2 now. We really encourage our kids to do multiple sports. We think we makes them, better athletes, more well-rounded kids. Reggie is certainly one of those, a very good athlete that helps multiple teams in their. I think baseball is one of his favorites. He plays, more baseball throughout the year and likes to train. And I think he's hoping to play baseball at the next level, which is exciting. So full count here for Carter Ridgway, our shortstop. And another hit down the left field line, and this is going to be an extra base one. He's moving to second, and he is in there. Stand up double for Ridgway. Nice hit. Now up for the Saints, number 10, Brett Sladkey. Sladkey's up. He reached based on an error last inning. Let's see what he can do. He's got a runner in scoring position with Ridgway out at second. And they check Ridgway at second. They know he's quick. He definitely has stolen some bases before. Sladkey, number 10 up there. That is batting for the Saints right now. He is also I think a home run was just hit over in the JV field. Exciting. Definitely was. I don't know who hit it, but someone hit a home run on the JV field. Very exciting. 1-0 on Sladkey. Sladkey is also a multi-sport athlete. He's our quarterback on our football team, a basketball player, and now he plays third base for baseball. Our winter sports teams had a very solid winter season. That's an understatement. Basketball was conference champions. Boys basketball was conference champions. Boys wrestling was conference champions, and boys hockey was conference champions. Boys hockey and boys basketball or boys wrestling also went to state. So really great year for the boys. And that's behind him. Carter is going to go to third on the pass ball. And the count is 3-0 on Sladkey, so he's probably taking here. And that's strike one. It's 3-1 now is the count on Sladkey. He thought that was ball 4, but now he's ready. He's back in there, ready to swing. And he is walked. We got a first and third play here. Catcher's calling out the play for the defense. Now up for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. It's also very interesting to me what these boys pick for walk-up songs. A lot of old-time country, and they throw it down, and the shortstop cuts it off, so Sladkey gets into second. So Hoff is up. His count is 1-0. Sladkey's on second. Ridgway is on third. So we got 2 runners on, both in scoring position here for Alex Hoff, 3-hitter for the Saints. Allram is on deck. That's in there for a strike. So the count's 1-1 on Alex Hoff. Alex Hoff is also a 3-sport athlete. He does football, he wrestled, and he does baseball. And next year he's headed off to St. Scholastica, where he will continue his baseball career. Very exciting for him. And that one one gets in the 3-4 hole, and they get that in. 1 run is going to score. We got another. So nobody out. Runners on first and third again for Spooner. Catcher's calling the defensive play on the first and third. Now up for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. All right, Allram is up. Runners on first and third. Alex is on, or Hoff is on first. He's taken off, and they cut it off. So Alex is on second, or Hoff's on second. Sladky's on third. Allram is up to bat with no outs here in the bottom of the second inning, and I got to update the home score because we just added another one. 4-2 here. 4-2 here in the bottom of the second. That one's low. First one is a strike. That one's low for ball 1, so it's 1-1 on Brody Allram. Brody Allram, another 3-sport athlete. He is a football player. He played basketball and now baseball. And next year, Brody is off to UW Stout to not only play baseball, but also football. He is going to play 2 sports in college. Very impressive. Swing on that one there, and the count is 2-2 on Allram. That one almost hits him. Full count. He was hit by a pitch the last at bat, last inning. There's nobody out, so definitely RBI time here. And that's low and away, so Brody is walked. They are going to chat with their pitcher. It's 4-2. Bases are loaded. I don't know if they're going to make a change here or just chat with their pitcher. Kyle Olson is due up for the Saints. Quick conference for the Rails. Now up for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. All right, Kyle Olson is up. Bases are loaded. Nobody out here. Base hit should score 2. That one's low and out. Kyle is heading to St. John's next year to play baseball. Kyle does not do other sports. He's just a baseball kid, which is just fine. That's awesome. He plays a lot of baseball. 2-0 on Kyle here. Kyle's older brother Tyler plays baseball at Crown College in the cities with another one of our alumni, Caden Folkstead. So we got quite a few kids out playing baseball, and they enjoy that in the college realm. 2-1 is the count on Kyle. Still nobody out, and bases are loaded. We got Sladkey at third, Hoff at second, and Allram at first. And a hard hit to the shortstop. They get him at 2. but they do not get the double play. So an RBI here on the fielder's choice. Now up for the Saints, number 23, Drake Peterson. Another first and third here. So we got Drake up, 1 out. Runners on, we got Hoff at third, Kyle Olson at first, and we got Drake up. Drake had a hit last inning. He swings on that one and fouls it back. Counts 0-1 here. All right. We are 0-1 here on Peterson. Olson takes off, and they throw it all the way down, and that gets by. So now Hoff is up and in. So the Saints now have 6. I'll update that on the scoreboard. 6-2. Kyle with 1 out, and Kyle Olson is at second. Drake is up to bat. Count is still 2-0. Fouls that one off. Nice fight. He's battling well up there, Mr. Drake. That one was low. Good stop by the catcher. Keep that one in front. Counts 1 and 2 here. 1 out on Drake. Or 1 out for the Saints. That one is fouled. Off again. Good battle for Drake here. Drake is a junior who is also 3-sport athlete. He's a football player, a wrestler, very good wrestler. Got third at state this year individually. And obviously a baseball player. Strikes out, but looks like he's going to beat it out. And so again, it's first and third here. Another first and third situation for the Saints and for the Rails. Up now for the Saints, number 5, Elliott Wilson. Haven't thrown a pitch yet to Wilson. They checked Olson over at third. Olson is on third. Peterson is on first. Let's see what the defense does. That one's in there for a strike, and they throw it down. Do not get Peterson. So the Saints have runners at second and third, and Wilson is up with an 0-1 count. Wilson beats it out here with an RBI. Now for the Saints, number 9, Devin Richardson. So we are now 7-2 here. Saints lead. We got another first and third and only one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Swing for Richardson, and it's 1-1. Elliott Wilson gets into second base, and the count is 2-1 on Richardson. Low and inside. Drake is on third with Devin on second. Count is 3-1 for Richardson. That one's fouled off and back into the fence. I got a car alarm going off. That one's fouled back. Now, Devin, who's up to bat right now, he's a two-sport athlete. He does hockey and baseball, and he was part of that conference championship hockey team, and the hockey, our boys hockey team, also went to state. Devin was a starter on that team. And that's a nice hit into left field. Drake's going to score, and they're going to stop Elliott, just hold him up. But a nice hit for Devin into left field. And it is now 8-2. Coach from Spooner is out there talking with his infield. I believe, yeah, it looks like they're going to make a pitching change here. So we got Elliott Wilson at third, Devin Richardson at first, with Carson Marks up to bat with one out here in the bottom of the second. Got a new pitcher coming in for the Rails. I also find it very interesting that baseball coaches have to wear the uniform. I don't know of any other sport where your coach has to wear the uniform, and I can't imagine there'd be many other sports where the coach would want to wear the uniform. At least they got to wear the pants. I was a softball coach for a decade, and I would not want to wear softball pants. I'm sorry, but so just a interesting little tidbit with baseball tradition. Baseball is, one of the, America's pastimes. So I do love baseball and softball. I enjoy being able to commentate, watch our games, and it's one of my favorite sports. People say obviously baseball or softball is a little faster paced with a smaller field and things like that, but Both of them are incredibly high in strategy and in in analytics and data-driven decisions. I just love the sport. Um, so we got Carson Marks coming up here for the Saints in the bottom of the second, where the Saints lead 8-2. New pitcher out there, number 9 for Spooner. I can look. I do not believe I have who that is. So if anyone wants to throw in the comments who number 9 is, who the new pitcher is for the Rails, that'd be great. All right, now up for the Saints, number 1, Carson Marks. Marks is up here. Runners on second and third, one out in the bottom of the second inning, and the Saints lead 8-2. Again, their offense has been on fire and a bunch. Ooh, just foul. I like the decision by Campbell. I know that this may not be a popular opinion, but I think bunts are incredibly underutilized in baseball. I know I come from a biased softball perspective, but when I see these giant shifts, especially in Major League Baseball and in college, you don't see these giant shifts nearly as much in high school. But when you see these giant shifts, and you have speed and you have good hand-eye coordination and you have people just so far back beyond the base, I don't know why they don't utilize bunts a bit more. Just my opinion. But if I was a baseball coach, I would definitely use it strategically. Not all the time, not like in softball, but use it a bit more than the average baseball coach. Especially, I just find it baffling that you just don't see a little bit more. And I know in the Major League Baseball, you have a higher percentage of, with certain batters, a higher percentage of getting a double, an extra base hit, or a home run in a film court. I get that, but so Marks is up. It's a 2-1 count here. Runners are on second and third. Turns the bunt, pulls it back. 3-1 here. Elliott Wilson was way off the third. He got back quick. Good thing. But the third baseman was also kind of shading towards the plate for a possible bunt. Ball 4. Now up for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. I think Carter has one of my favorite walk-up songs. I enjoy his. I also like Carson Marks. His Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. It's a good one. That one's in there for a strike. Now we got bases loaded. One out here for Carter Ridgway, and the count is 0-1 on Ridgway. So that one is back to the pitcher and not in time at home, not in time on the fielder's choice. Now up, number 10, Brett Sladke. Another run comes in for the Saints. It is 9-2. Games like this are tough when it's pretty lopsided at so early on. Brett has reached on air and a walk so far in this game. That one's high. Count is 2-0 on Sladke. Throw down, not in time for Ridgeway. It's 3-0 on Ridgeway. That one's up for ball 4. Now for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. All right, Alex Hoff is up. First one's a ball. Hopefully the Spooner pitcher can just, settle in, take a breath, keep grooving as we go. That one's hit, and it is caught by the center fielder. Carson Marks gets in there on the tag. So the Saints score another 2 on that one. It's 11-2, maybe 10-2. I don't know. I thought it should be 10-2, but so Hoff gets out. Yep. 11-2. And now up for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. It's 1-0 here for Allram. I forgot to announce him here at the game. Not forgot. I just got busy trying to figure out the correct score. That one's in there for a strike. 2 outs here. Runners on second and third with a 1-1 count for Allram. That one's back at the pitcher, and that's 3. Ground out to the pitcher for out number 3. But the Saints strike big in the second inning, now up 11-2. Here in the third inning, top of the third, Spooner's got their top of their lineup coming up, and Devin Richardson is back out on the hill for the Saints. All right. It is top of the third here. I got to change the inning on the scoreboard. I just love baseball games. You get to be outside. You get music at most. Leading off this inning for the Rails, number 4, Mason Shabrowski. Shabrowski's up here. He's got some fun blue shoes, like Carolina blue shoes, and kind of matching batting gloves. I love a good Carolina blue moment. First one's in there for Richardson. For strike. Devin was working with a med ball during FIAD today on some pitching mechanic stuff, and Nice field, but the throw was big, and so Shabrowski is heading to second on the overthrow there. So that would be reached by air, but depending on what they would quote it. Now up number 27, Jarrett Meyer. Jarrett Meyer's up with nobody out and runner on second here in the top of the third. That one's low for ball one. Ball one here. That one's in there for a strike to even the count up 1-1. That one's fouled off, so the count is 1-2 here on Meyer. And they catch him stealing for out number one. Shabrowski tries to steal third, and Allram throws him out. Nice throw, nice tag by Sladkey. And the count is 2-2. Right now in Spooner, softball's in the top of the fifth, and St. Croix Falls leads 5-4. 5-4 up in Spooner. That one is in play over to Sladkey, and he makes the play, and a nice scoop over there for Olson. Now up number 12, Shamari Fahey. Fahey's up. 2 outs, nobody on for the Rails. Oh no, the Vizio is frozen again. We're going to try to do what I did before. He swung on that one, and I think it's just out of the reach of Drake Peterson out there. We're going to see if we can get this working again. All right, hopefully the camera's working again. That one is a slow roller. Devin gets it and makes the play. A nice, clean inning for the Saints. 3 up, even though they got a hit in there, but then 3 out. And we're on to the bottom of the third, where the Saints lead 11-2. We're struggling here with the video freezing up on me. I'll keep working with it. So due up here in the third, we got Kyle Olson, Drake Peterson, Elliott Wilson are due up. So let's see. Morning. Here we go. Let's see if I can get the. All right. Let's see if I can get the camera working again. Come on. All right. Hopefully it's working here now. We got bottom of the third coming up here for the Saints. In case you don't know, if after 5 innings is complete and a team leads by 10 or more, you end the game early. Number 2 is out there for the Rails. I believe that's Reed Hagen, I think. So I think it's another different pitcher here. So leading off this inning for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. All right. So nobody on, nobody out here to start the bottom of the third inning. Kyle Olson is up. He has had 2 fielder's choices. He swings at that first one, so strike 1. That's in for a hit for Olson. Now for the Saints, number 23, Drake Peterson. Quite a few of our boys have picked Johnny Cash songs or kind of old time slow songs. It's not my vibe. I don't mind him. I appreciate it. It's just not necessarily my vibe for a walk-up song. But, maybe they want to calm down, relax, and get ready to hit, I get that. I can appreciate a good relaxing moment before you got to go hit. That one gets by him, and Kyle Olson advances to second. Drake is still up to bat. The count is 1-1 here for Drake. They check on Kyle. He gets back safely. And that one gets by, and Kyle gets to third. Count is 2-1 on Drake. And a big hit by Drake Peterson. Oh, nice catch by the outfielder, by that center fielder, but he does get a RBI for that one. Now for the Saints, number 5, Elliott Wilson. Wilson is up 1 out, nobody on, and they do knock in the 12th run, not third run. I have no idea what I'm saying that. It's been a long day. Elliott Wilson, and this one is caught by the center fielder, fly out. So out number 2. Now for the Saints, number 9, Devin Richardson. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Richardson is up. Oops. Forgot to stop the music. That one is low for ball one. That one's in there for strike. So it's 1-1. Two outs, 1-1. Nobody on here for Devin. Trying to get us started again. Drake hit it deep to center. The center fielder made a really nice play out there on that ball. But that did score Kyle Olson at third. Oh, nice. Pretty solid hit, but just grounded out. Hard hit back to the pitcher for out number 3. All right, we're moving on to the 4th inning. Saints lead 12-2 here in the top of the 4th. Spooner's got their 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up. We got Cameron Rich, Ben Eichten, and Joey Romportal coming up here in the 4th. Now for the Rails, number 3, Cameron Rich. All right, Devin Richardson back on the hill for the Saints. He's pitched all of this game so far for the first 3 innings, and now he's back out there for the 4th inning. I was going to look on Game Changer, see how many pitches he's at. Let's check that out. First one's a ball. He was really efficient the last 2 innings. Had a little bit longer in the first, but I'm assuming he's pretty solid in terms of innings. He's at, looks like 47 pitches. So he's got plenty to work with here tonight. And he's already passed, so he couldn't pitch tomorrow night. So probably see him through the remainder of the game, or at least quite a while now. It is, count is 1-2 here on Rich. Cameron Rich from Spooner. And gets him with a K looking. Now up number 30, Ben Eichten. Eichten's up for the Rails. That one, first one's a ball. Another ball. So it's 2-0 here on Eichten. And Eichton is whopped. Now for the rails, number 11, Joey Romportal. Romportal is up. Eichton is on first, and we got one out here. A softball update. The Saints lead 7-6 after the 5th inning here. And they are up in Spooner. All right, 1-1 is count on Romportal. That one just missed. Counts 2-1. Eichton on first. Romportal. Oh, they check Eichton at first. That one's in. Play and caught by Drake Peterson out and right for out number 2. Now for the rails, number 15, Luke Norritz. Oh, just kidding. 10 is hitting now. So this is not Norritz. This is number 10. First one is in there for strike 1. That one was fouled off. Maybe not fouled off. So 1-1 is count. And a runner at second. Ooh, good heat from Richardson. 1-2 from Richardson. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. That one's fouled into the fence. Counts 1-2 here. And gets him looking for out number 3. Richardson's pitching very well. And we're on to the bottom of the 4th, where the Saints still lead 12-2. Due up for the Saints, we got 9-1-2. So we got Carson Marks, Carter Ridgway, and Brett Sladke coming up here in the bottom of the 4th. Looks like they got maybe another pitcher coming out here for the Rails. Not having it dirt on my boots. Yep, number 12 is Shamari Fahey is out there ready to pitch for the Rails. In the high school baseball setting, you really need some depth in pitching. You need multiple pitchers because with the pitch count rules, you got to have a lot of arms to be able to, if you have a really long inning and you eat up 20, 30 pitches. So and in Wisconsin, you really got to have a lot of guys because we try to get 26 games in basically a month and a half, month and 3/4, and that's a lot of games. So these guys are seeing, 3, 4, even 5 games sometimes in a week. So leading off for the Saints this inning, number 1, Carson Marks. So bottom of the 4th, Carson Marks leads the Saints off. Marks has walked and struck out so far in this game. I think it's time for a hit. That's in there for a strike. That one's high. Counts 2-1 on Marks. Three and one on that one. And he's walked. Now for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. First one's a ball. So that's a balk. That's basically an illegal pitch. So Carson Marks gets to second, and it's 1-0 still on Ridgway. Swings on that one, so that evens the count out at 1-1. Counts 2-1 on Ridgeway. Three and one now. That's in there for a strike. So full count. Marks is out at second. Base hit ball 4 here. Hits that one well, but it is caught in center field for out number 1. Oops, sorry. Now up for the Saints, number 10, Brett Sladkey. One out here in the bottom of the 4th. Big extra lead for Marks. That one's low for ball 1. So it's 1-0 here. Counts even now. Fouls that one off, so it's 1-1 here on Sladkey. This is the 4th time through the lineup here for the Saints. So Ridgeway has had 4 at-bats. This is now Brett's 4th at-bat. That is fouled and not caught. I can't really see down there. The right fielder I know went to go try to make a play on it, but it looked like it was probably out of play. So the count is 1-2 now on Sladkey. That one's up. Counts even at 2-2. Oh, that was a rip down the third baseline, and that's going to score Marks. Definitely going to score Marks, and they overthrow second, so Sladkey gets in the second. Nice hit for Sladkey. So RBI single. Now up number 3, Alex Hoff. Now it's 13-2, the Saints lead. Hoffer's up. That one's outside. Sladkey's on second and 1 out. Nice hit for Sladkey there. Sladkey is 1 for 2 with 2 walks based on my book. I gave the first one an error, but it's all how you mark it down. That one gets by him, so Sladkey's over to third. It is 2-1 here on Alex Hoff. And that is in the 3-4 hole. And another single for the Saints. Now up for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. All right, another score for the Saints. It's 14-2. They got a little more insurance runs because this game will likely be done in 5. They can give up 2 runs now in the top of the 5th and still be done. Because if you're up by 10 or more, Hoff has he's gotten hit by a pitch, walked, and grounded out. So I think it's time for a hit for Allram. Sorry, not Hoff, for Allram. Where Hoff he's 2 for 3 tonight with a walk. He's had 2 singles on a fly out to center field. Allram looking for that hit tonight. He got hit by a pitch and walked, so he hasn't seen much to hit. And Hoffer is running the bases well, showing off some speed. It's 3-0 for Brody Allram here. I'm guessing he's taken here. And he is, and he's walked. We got a courtesy runner coming in for Allram. Looks like Rowan Prokop is out there running for. Now for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. So we got Kyle Olson up to bat. Rowan Prokop is running. He's at first. That one is low, so ball 1. Kyle's last at bat, he had a hit. Another first and third situations. We've had a lot of these this game. Two and 0 here on Olson. Two and 1 now. That one's in there for a strike. 1 out. That one's fouled back. So the count evens at 2-2. Full count here on Olson with runners on second and third. One out. Big hit. And that's down for Olson. Coach is coming out to talk to the pitcher, and we got a pinch hitter here. Jacoby Milky is coming up. We got some subs coming in for the Saints. Justin Wynn is in at first base for Kyle Olson. And number 32, Jacoby Milky, is going to bat for Drake Peterson. Got a new pitcher out there for the Rails. Number 30? Yeah, number 30. Number 30 is Ben Eichten in to pitch for the Rails. Got some pinch hitters coming up for the Saints. I got to update the score. It's 15-2 now. Ooh, for softball, it's top of the 8th, and they're tied 7-7 up in Spooner. All right, pinch hitting for the Saints. We got number 32, Jacoby Milky. Mm-hmm. All right. One out here. Justin Wynn is out at first. Milky is batting. That one's in there for a strike. One out here. New pitcher, Eichten. Ben Eichten is out there for the Rails. That one's in there for a strike. So it's quickly 0-2 on Milky. Now he's going to have to protect here. Justin Wynn advances to second on that one. Fouls it off. Kobe's battling up there. Counts 1-2. That one's high. Evens count up at 2-2. So we're in the bottom of the 4th. Wynn is out at second. Jacoby Milky's batting with a 2-2 count here with a 1 out. In there for strike 3. Now batting number 7, Lucas Hale. All right, Lucas Hale batting for Elliott Wilson. First one's in there for a strike, so we got 2 outs, runner on second. And we got Brock Sledke on deck. That one's up. So the count's 1-1 on Hale. That one's up. 2-1 for Lucas. That one's up. 3-1 is the count. Nice swing for Hale. Evens the count up. Full count here. Ball 4. Now for the Saints, number 22, Brock Sladke. Two outs. Runners on first and second here. That's in there for a strike. That one's outside. 1-1. That one's high. 2-1 is the count. That one's high. 3-1. Ball 4. Now for the Saints, number 21, Rowan Prokop. Oh, we're all frozen again. All right. I got to change the score, though. 16-2, and RoPro is up. Rowan Prokop. Just fun to say that name, RoPro. You know? So let's see if we can unfreeze the camera. That one's high, so 2-0 on Rowan Pro Cup. Oh, crap. Now it's just me. All right, camera is not linked. There's no device detected. All right, let's see if I can get a camera back up here. Here we go. That one's in there for a strike, so 3-1 on Rowan. In there for a strike, so now it's a full count on Rowan Pro Cop. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, full count. Everyone's moving here, and Rowan is up. Ball 4. Looks like we're going to have maybe a pitching change. Otherwise, just a little conference. We got a pitching change. Oh, all right, new pitcher coming in. All right, bases are loaded. It is 17-2. I got to change that. Up now, number 12, Carter Ridgway. All right, bases loaded. 2 outs for Ridgway. In there for strike 1. That one's hit hard. And it's caught by the center fielder for out number 3 in the bottom of the 4th. All right, 17-2, and it's the top of the 5th for the Rails. New pitcher for the Saints, Elliott Wilson, is going out there to finish in the 5th. We got some new defensive players. We got Jacoby in right. Hoff is still in center. Wins at first. Brock Sladkey's at second. Rowan Prokop's in left. Now for the rails, number 23, Logan Smith. And Wilson's out on the hill. Shooting strikes. That one's up. 1-1 is the count here. In there for strike 2. And got him looking for out number 1. Now up number 2, Reed Hagen. That's in there for a strike and grounded over to the shortstop. A nice scoop by Wynn for the ground out for out number 2. Now up number 4, Mason Shabrowski. Elliott's doing a great job throwing lots of strikes. He does that very well. That one's out to Sladkey at short and is out. And that's the ball game, folks. The Saints win 17-2 over Spooner. And very nice. Devin gets the win. No save for Elliott because they were up 17-2. But lots of good hits. Nice defense for the Saints. The Saints are back in action tomorrow at River Falls. Great game for the Saints tonight, and that is their 5th win of the season. Let's find some fun songs. Take me home. Hey, and that's the ball game, folks. Tomorrow the boys are at River Falls. I was going to check on the softball score one more time, see if they finish that game up. It is bottom of the 9th, and it is still tied 7-7 up in Spooner for girls softball. All right, have a great night, all. Thanks for watching.